Nathan, still a lot of disagreement over this.
Yeah, and you could see it in the coronavirus task force briefing last night here on Tuesday. Dr. Deborah Birx has asked directly, some states haven't met these guidelines. Why are they reopening? And she was saying, well, they are guidelines, and it's up to the governors, and there are parts of their states that may have complied. But you're absolutely right. It's a patchwork. It's the tale not of two Americas, but lots of different Americas all doing essentially different things. And a lot of criticism, for example, in Georgia, of opening barber shops, massage parlors, tattoo parlors. I mean, the mayor of Atlanta was saying, are you crazy? This could lead to a spike in cases. Now, Andrew Cuomo, who was here yesterday talking about testing, it looks like they've got a deal of some sort of testing with the president. But he's really saying this push to reopen the country right now, when, New York itself is not coming down, it's plateauing. New Jersey had a record number of deaths, unfortunately, in the last 24 hours. He said, let's stop pushing this because we could be making a very, in his words, stupid decision. Let's take a listen.
I get the pressure, but we can't make a bad decision. Frankly, this is no time to act stupidly, period. I don't know how else to say it. And I've said it innumerable times to local officials on the phone. I get the pressure, I get the politics, we can't make a bad decision, and we can't be stupid about it.
Yeah, so we're going to have to see what happens, but obviously, the virus is going to decide, and that's the real problem here, because it doesn't respond to politics. Anyway, the US president got some fresh air today. Remember, he's been complaining about being locked up in the White House for months, even though he did hold rallies in March. But it's Earth Day, so he planted a tree, and he uses a metaphor for reopening the parks and everything that Americans like to enjoy. Let's take a listen.
I'm pleased to announce that in line with my administration's guidelines for opening up America again, we will begin to reopen our national parks and public lands for the American people to enjoy.
Well, that would be nice, as long as we all keep our distances. Parks are fantastic. By the way, we're waiting on him signing that immigration executive order. It's much more limited than we thought. It's not a total ban. There are lots of exceptions. It's only for 60 days. But the political point is being made. We should know whether that's going to be signed today in the next hour or so. That's it.
And Nathan, the other big story is we've learned that the first cases of COVID-19 in the U.S. were actually much earlier than we first thought and in a completely different state.
Yeah, absolutely. Everyone obviously focusing on Washington State, Seattle, travel from Wuhan. But on autopsies, and let's face it, no country have really done a lot of autopsies because they've been battling with saving lives. But in autopsies in California, especially one case where someone died on February the 6th, they've now proved that it was COVID. Now, if you backtrack that a few weeks, that suggests that that person, the latest they could have contracted the virus was January 15th, and they had no connection to Wuhan, no connection to China travel. So that suggests the community spread in this country was very, very early, just as Wuhan was essentially going on lockdown. So this raises much more questions about how the virus spread, when it was here, and also, of course, the delayed reaction in this country to actually shutting things down and containing things.
Nathan King, live for us at the White House.